Hi there. So module 4, that's what we covered. Now let's look at what have we learned from the module. We did a quick review, we did all the topics. Now is the time to evaluate, and this is more to do with self-evaluation, which brings in our self-study piece. So let's dig in. We have got 2 for self-study here. The first part, which is 4.1, is elements of being systematic. Now that is a little different than a regular software testing assignment, but we'll see what it means for us. And the second one again is looking at least 2 systems of products that we would want to take up. Again, those which you see around you. So for example, I'm sitting in a studio here. The system that I would rather consider is a camera system. We have our friends who are recording it. They have their own software to pick things up. They have the audio channel, they have the video channel, and then I also learned about how they get into issues related to synchronization. So you can look at a lot of pieces around you, and that's the problems that we pick up for further understanding, analysis, and application of techniques like the combinatorial and decision table. And again, this is self-study. You should look up your faculty directions and handout to make sure that if these become part of formal submission or they are just meant for self-study. So let's look at this first one. First one, 4.1, which is elements of being systematic. So self-study 4.1, where we are looking at recipe for success for a test engineer. What does this mean? And where did this come from? This came from those 8 systematic steps that we looked at. And you recollect that that was applied for equivalence class partitioning, and I extended out to every test engineer, everything that we could do. So now this is a time where you work with your colleagues and fellow students to find out what these elements are. Now by elements of success, we mean the ingredients of success. It is like water. Water is contained of hydrogen and oxygen. So the elements for becoming water is hydrogen and oxygen in certain amounts, in certain manner, for it to really be water. Now, those are the elements that I'm looking at. And here we are not looking at those attributes of being a good engineer, understanding certain things in certain manner. This is more to do with what are those systematic mechanisms. Once you come up with those, compare and contrast with what exists today around you. You look at test design with certain importance, and you believe that people do not really do any test design, the test engineers around you, and they jump into testing. Then we know that test design is one of the key elements which you do not see around you. And what does this test design mean to you? Use of test techniques, what does this mean to you? So this is one of the self-studies which will allow us to kind of put together the whole piece as a package when it comes to specification-based testing. While we do that, the second part, which is the 4.2, is more to do with the 2 techniques that we looked at, the combinatorial and decision table for systems and or products. Again, you're free to choose 2. I gave you examples about how even within this studio, I find so many systems which could be looked at. In fact, a simple thing like scheduling which teacher, which professor is going to come and record itself can be a system. It could be a simple register that is used, or probably a web-based systems which is used for scheduling. So look at 2 or more products. It may be traffic light, it may be lift. Those which you use very, very regularly. Maybe it's a microwave oven. Now, specifically use combinatorial and decision table to validate these systems. And now compare and contrast with effectiveness of these techniques itself. So the way to compare and contrast is between combinatorial and decision table, or between just doing heuristics-based, intuition-based testing and use of decision table. So we'll understand the importance that decision table has when it comes to the rigor that it can bring in. So you have an opportunity to compare, contrast, and learn the techniques for the day-to-day products and applications. So with this and the logic that doing helps most learning would be true. And that is what we want to gain through self-study. So that's what we have. And I hope you enjoy doing these assignments as much as I enjoy creating them. Thank you.